Today is the Champions League final. As a football fan, it's a weird feeling because I kind of don't care. I want to care.
Your love, I'm gonna make you mine. There's something special about your love. I think it's one of a kind.
Good morning, everyone. We're here, starting our day off pretty late, but it is what it is. We'll go to our bed pretty late as that. So just live a little differently than other people. Kellan's changed, brushed his teeth, went through the crying of sitting on the tub already. Yeah, in the tub. My cousin will actually laugh at that. We'll have an inside joke about that. Sitting on the potty. We're downstairs trying to get something to eat. Lisa decided that he wants to eat here today. Yeah, he's probably gonna get some protein in a second with some kind of sausage or something. It's difficult because he was eating egg, but he's decided now that he will rarely eat that. I think actually when we were living in stay in the hotel while we were looking for a rental when we first initially moved, might have put him over the edge on the eggs, because it wasn't like, you know, mommy and daddy's eggs. It was like pre-made, like mixed eggs that you kind of like on vacation, you know, when it's like this continental breakfast thing or like free breakfast or complimentary breakfast. But it's, yeah, like after a month you get kind of sick of it. But still, you know what though, special shout out to that hotel. That was Home 2 Suites. We stayed at both. Even though Homewoods we stayed very briefly. That's the one up in, what is that, Flamingo Crossing. That was our first home up here in Orlando, because it took a while to find a rental. So please, if you're moving up here, I don't know, you know, there is a shift, but you know,
the prices were like between 100 and 150.
the rent is obviously kind of getting worse actually, but the housing market might be changing. We're anticipating change. I see realtors online that I follow slowly starting to turn their tune, and they don't want to really say it, but like you see them starting to be a little bit more adjusting. We had one in particular, I won't name the realtor that we follow. Normally when it's something good, I'll big him up, but it's just funny because like we watch him, and he would go into a house and he'll keep it like brutally honest with you, like even to the point where we're like, whoa, like, you know, like, yeah, that needs to change, but not in a fashion that you're like making it seem like it's as bad as it is, right? And then it's like, no, we'll watch like his new video and it's like, oh, this is great. And we're like, yo, we've seen you rag houses before. Like now, like everything is getting back to being great again. There's another one I follow on TikTok. And she's kind of like, oh, well, interest rates are here. So there's people who are getting out of the market, but you kind of giving you like trying to like reinstill FOMO. And it's like when you have to try to sell me on FOMO, you can tell that like the market is shifting. Like interest rates are at like 5%, but if they go to 7%, you're gonna wish you had gotten that 5%. So don't wait. And it was like, but if they drop, you can always refinance and do it at a lower rate.
Kind of, they're going back to that, like.
Yeah, and I was like,
well, it's just disingenuous.
Yeah. When you have to be selling me on the FOMO thing, it's a little bit like, I wonder what's changing behind the scenes while you're saying that. Also, another thing that kind of bothers me about it is it's also the assumption that for so long they were dealing with people that just had like this unlimited amount of cash. It seemed like they were moving from up north from the pandemic. And I was like, eventually people are going to move to where they're moving from. If you're staying, you're staying. Like, I don't know if they just think an unlimited amount of people are just going to keep coming from the north with these exorbitant amounts of money Like eventually that's gonna peter out, and then we're gonna kind of at some point there'll always be people moving, but you'll run out of the I just sold my house for this ridiculous price. And now I have unlimited amounts of money to pay way over the market people. Like, yeah, you still have the companies buying up houses off the market, but the problem with that is when they buy the house, that house is pretty much gone forever. I do have a caveat to that. I do think there will be a time of reckoning for these like investment companies where if this is not a profitable asset, you know, if like something happens, natural disaster happens in an area or something happens where insurance becomes a thing, or, you know, people just finally reach their breaking point and are not going to rent the house, you know, like it's too much money to rent that house and you're trying to just live as like these venture capital companies are trying to be people's landlords. It'll be non-profitable, and then guess what? All these hundreds and hundreds of houses, they'll probably get out of an area, right? Or if regulation happens, you know, if they would actually regulate, like, hey, we don't need you guys to become people's, you know, landlords and make it impossible for home ownership. That could also be a thing. But like when you sell to those companies, those houses are never going to go to a homeowner. They're not going to in 5, 10, 15, 20 years sell the house. They're planning to own that property forever and just keep it renting. So, you know, if you could do your part in selling your house to a family, you're helping build somebody else's legacy, somebody's wealth, all of that. But it's weird to hear this argument about like, oh, well, you know, if you're waiting in the market because the interest rate went up to 5%, what happens if it goes up to 7%? Well, that also discounts the idea that there are people waiting. Like, what if before the interest rate went up, you could afford to buy a house, and now with the exorbitant prices, because the prices still haven't come down, it's just the interest rate went up, and now prices have stopped increasing. They have already gone to the highest rate they've ever been in the history of the market, right? So it's like, well, maybe the 5% is the straw that's like broken the camel's back. Maybe they're not just waiting because they want to wait. Now there's, you know, people who can't afford to do it anymore, and they're not going to move 4 counties away from their job to try and live that way. So they're either going to move to the 4 counties and find another job, so you're going to have another losing of employment, or you're going to have people just say, I'm going to stay out of the market because it's too rich for my blood. Like, it was just weird because, again, the assumption is the reason people are like kind of halting is because it's choice. And it's like, maybe it's not a choice. Maybe they're kind of getting forced into halting now. Like, the unlimited stream of revenue wasn't always going to last forever. Anyway, I'm going to finally start looking at my recipe for the crack pie, and I have a couple other things to do. I'm going to try to edit on my computer, as well as get us situated for better production on our next on RBS. Come with me, I'm going to show you what's going on. The studio / office is in a state right now. This is some of the in-on products here, but this is where all the magic happens for on RBS. We're gonna try to set up like one of our phones as a second camera. Use one of the ring lights to get some more dynamic lighting in here. You know, we're trying to up the ante, but I gotta get through all of this mess of what we're gonna need, set up the microphones to get better sound quality and all that. And Lisa is dreading it. She's like, yo, that's your baby, you deal with all of that yourself. And I kind of get it, but I'm trying to explain to her that hopefully it'll be a one-time deal. It'll be like we set it up, and then it's kind of just plug and play. Like, even if we put the mics away, you just take the mics out and put them back in. So I have a couple projects. The good thing is I don't return to work until Wednesday. Today is only Monday, so I still have a couple of days. I've had a couple of lazy days, had a couple of days to just get things done around the house, but you know, we're just gonna have to, and this goes for everybody. whatever you do outside of your, when I say 9 to 5, I don't work 9 to 5. But what I'm saying is whatever you do outside of your traditional work, whether it's school, whether it is trying to form your own business, whether it's another thing, you're not only giving your all to your traditional job. You know, don't come home after they've forced you to work like, you know, at maximum capacity, making sure that they maximize your work and your work ethic, and then come home with like the type of energy of like a casual like hobby and think you're going to get the best out of you. It doesn't have to be as stressful. If you're at a stressful job, it doesn't have to work you to the bone. Like, they will try to maximize out of you, but you need to get out of you the same level or more than you give to your paycheck job. Okay? When you're trying to do it for yourself, you need the same energy or more than you do for your paycheck job, because that's the only thing that's going to make it successful. The paycheck job, if you lower your productivity, they'll find somebody else to do it. You know what I mean? If that's their standard. But you're only going to be successful with your maximum effort. So find a way to put in the same energy. Don't, if you're starting a YouTube channel like us, you're doing something else, you're writing music, you're doing whatever it is, creative, you're trying to start another business altogether, put in the energy like it's your job. If you have to, do what I'm preaching for us to do, which is start logging your hours, do something like that, because the more you treat it like a side thing, like, oh, I can do it in my casual time, is the more that it will stay a casual thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go eat. I am starving. What's up, y'all? So, you're gonna ride with me. We're gonna go pick up an order from one of the wholesale clubs. I'm going to BJ's right now. Lisa's feeling a little under the weather. The weather isn't that great. It's kind of like rainy. Kellan is sleeping. And I just went to the barber, and I'm still feeling out like the barber or whatever. So the first time I got cut on my birthday, for my birthday, it was one barber did it. So I went back to the same shop, and another barber was free, and I did the unthinkable. I made somebody else cut my hair. But the thing is, it was just by luck that I got that first guy. And even though I like what he did, I was like, all right, let me try somebody else, see what it is, you know, like if I like that guy better, or, you know, have to compare to. So I don't really regret making somebody else cut it. I don't think he did a bad job, but because now I just wear my head shaved, right? My beard is all that I'm really worried about. Like, at home, I have my own shears, you know. I'm trying to I keep trying to find like a actual, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like a beard trimmer that will neatly cut the lines myself and do all of those things. And I will still go to a barber, you know, because I'm still not a barber. But I just feel like while this looks neat, I could have kind of done this at home myself. And I'm not so worried about this because, yeah, like most barbers I go to will leave me to neat up this. This is just cutting this to a 0 or whatever. And I just do that with a razor at home. I'm blessed that I don't get like razor bumps and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about that. But I just, while it's neat, I feel like in 2 days, this will not be noticeable that I got my hair cut. Was it really worth $15 plus a tip? And I still gave a tip because that's how I rock, you know what I mean? There's a couple of things. First things first, like, I knew things weren't going right, but because, yo, whenever a barber cut you for the first time, the barber going to ask for your input. Unless you're a little pick-me and they're asking like your parent or your guardian for input, right? But the thing is, him started to ask too many questions, as if like he wasn't confident in the cut that he was giving. And then it was like, all right, him do something, then he was like, all right. Then I was like, okay, you know, I'm trying to feel me out as a client. Like, you know, you lean my head that way, I leave my head that way till you move my head, you know, keep my eyes closed. And I just kind of check the haircut, you know what I mean? So it's like every minute the man kept holding up a mirror. You can show me while you're doing it, you know, and ask me. But I just felt like there was too many questions. At a certain point, like after I get a good idea of what you've described to me, what you want, I am the professional. So after a while, I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't really like where this is going. Cause like it's like the man asked me for too much input now. But I never interrupt or whatever. I just kind of let him finish. And where he felt like he was done, I kind of felt like, yeah, it's neat. But like I said, like my hair grows quickly. I feel like in 2 days, nobody not even going to know I went to the barber. Where usually when I go to the barber, 2 days from now, 1 to 2 days from now is the best it looks. Anyway, so I don't really regret it. You know, like I said, I'm trying to feel out the barbers. It's gonna be, I think, a little bit more awkward if I do return to that barber shop now, because the thing is, if the first barber that I liked how he did my hair is not finished and I'm next, I'm going to kind of be like, now I'm going to be like, no, I'm waiting on him. And it's going to be like a direct, obvious, like, yeah, no, I definitely did not like what you did. I'm waiting on this guy now, right? Whereas, like, if I'd done that from the first jump, it wouldn't have seemed disrespectful, because I don't know what you can do. I just know that I like what this guy does. You know what I mean? This is going to seem like a direct shot at the other barber. But then again, you in the profession, you can't take that personal. You're going to have your clients that like how you do your hair. And you're going to have people that don't like how your hair get done. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Alright, so I'm now in BJ's, the Osceola store, if you're local or you're ever local. This is a pretty decent BJ's, and I tend to be partial to BJ's because at one point I used to work at BJ's. But I'm gonna be honest, wine for wine, I'm comparing the Sam's Club that I go to, the Costco that we go to. I'm not counting the business center. The business center weirdly doesn't have alcohol. The one up close to Dr. Phillips' side, the BJ is close by there as well. But comparing wine section for wine section, I have to give the edge probably to, I want to say, Costco. Not saying that you can't find good wines in BJ's, still will find those here. So, and you're still gonna get them at a better price than you will at your regular Publix or your supermarkets and those things. But it's just, you're not gonna get the big variety at this particular store. That's not to say BJ's doesn't have a good wine section. Again, I'm just comparing it to Costco and those things. I'll probably end up leaving here with some kind of Bogle wine. For some reason, this aisle is super popular right now. You ever feel that Truman Show moment when you're like, nobody was in an aisle, and then it's like you come down the aisle and now all of a sudden it is the only place in the store that everybody else needs to be? I'm kind of used to it now, like, and it's not me. I know it's not me. It's just a thing that we'll go through. Well, I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way. But today is the Champions League final. As a football fan, it's a weird feeling because I kind of don't care. I want to care, should care, but my team isn't in the final, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to be like, you know, like one of those spoiled sports that are like, oh, my team is not in the final, so I don't care. But it's one of those things where it's like the team that I really wouldn't want to win, them winning probably will benefit me better than the team I would go for. So I'm kind of agnostic on who wins. Like, I don't really care. If I had to edge one team winning, I'd be playing chestnut checkers and say I'd rather Liverpool win, even though I'm an EPL fan, and usually EPL fans are not going to cheer for their rival. Like, you know, Chelsea's competing with other teams for the same players, and I don't want Real Madrid to be any more attractive. But anyway, I will keep that to myself. This probably all be edited out by Lisa because she won't want my football talk on our channel. So let me find a wine here. Yo, I don't know if I was hungry, but something in the bakery is kicking up under my nose and have me really wanting to go investigate. I kind of wasting time while I get the order together because I came in the store and the order wasn't ready. Lisa did the order online, so I kind of just walking around exploring the store, seeing if there's anything available. It's weird though because I don't really want to pick up anything because I don't know what Lisa ordered. Like I don't want to go pick up the diapers or go pick up more juice for Kellan or something like that and then find out that Lisa already ordered that. Alright, so we're not a food review channel or anything like that, but we try to buy organic and natural meats the most that we can. This is $85.50 organic grass fed, and it's 100% grass fed. This is a decent price for 3, but Sam's has this for $14.99, 100% grass fed. It's the best price that I've seen. You know what? Let's try look at the screenshot of what Lisa ordered, because let's do that. See, these are the things that men go through, and then the thing is, Lisa probably trying to take a nap now, and then she'll get annoyed because I'm interrupting her nap by calling every minute. But some of the time I really don't know what's going on, you know what I mean? But let's try to figure it out before we resort to calling. See, like, this is what we actually do on the other side, guys. We don't just immediately call you. We do try to do some due diligence, and then unfortunately when we can't figure it out, then we call. Because I'd rather get it right than just come home refusing to call you. So the screenshot is just giving me the order number. It doesn't show me what's in the order. So yeah, that is not gonna help. But again, I'm going to avoid calling Lisa. I'm going to try to still give her some uninterrupted break. For all I know, Kellan could have wake up by now and it's driving her nuts, but I'm not gonna call her with any more additional calls. I already called her since I've been here. I'm just gonna go to the front, have them give me the order. Literally, I'm riding around with a cart with 1 bottle of wine in it right at this point in time, which I keep telling myself not to feel that silly about, because I know I have an order up front. But at the same time, like, if I go up there and it's one of these crazy like Memorial Day lines, I'm probably gonna be turned off enough not to stand up in line just to buy about 1 bottle of wine. Like, I really have to find a reason or excuse, and I have yet to find one. Yo, when you're feeling lazy, just admit it to yourself, okay? Because the lines are not really that bad here at all, especially considering we're in a 3-day weekend. Like, they're pretty solid. But the thing is, I also feel like a clown buying 1 bottle of wine, and I'd rather not buy the wine. I just feeling lazy about joining the line and thing. I just going to take the order and leave. Probably use the energy to try, I don't know, find something to eat on the road or something, which is not gonna thrill Lisa any more a bit than what I'm saying. But I just have to be honest with myself. I really don't feel like bothering going through the line and do all of that. Alright, now this lady is literally like empty and still old. I'm gonna buy the 1 bottle of wine. Literally had to plead with myself. Alright, let's be honest about something, okay? I am probably going to go try this gyro place up here, so gyro, whatever you want to call it. That's not to be disrespectful to the culture, it's just I have yet to be told the appropriate way by somebody trustworthy. I believe it's gyro. So anyway, try this I love gyro place. So you guys get to follow me and check that out. The game is about to start. I guess I could look at the lineup, but again, I don't know. Even though I am in much better weather than where Lisa is at home back in Davenport, it's a nice day. Looks like an excellent Saturday. I kind of wish I could just dig them out of the house when I get home, and drive them away from Davenport if it's still raining down there. Still kind of feeling, I don't feel as blah, I think, Lisa is feeling like physically under the weather. A little bit of anemia probably hitting her too. But me, I just kind of feel like blasé, like I don't really care. So this is right near Osceola. This is Loop Gyros, and they have wings and everything. So if this is good, and you know I'm gonna be honest about it, this is definitely somewhere that I'll stop, especially because the BJ's that we'll go to is right here. So fingers crossed this is good. So I actually just found out that it is Euro. So the G is like a H or like a, and it's not gyro, it's not gyro, it's not gyro, it's Euro. Think hero, but Euro, like a, actually like a Y. I said like a H. I will try to say that, not to be snobbish, but just to have respect for other people's food and cuisine that they, you know, incorporate into our culture. So I will say Euro when I remember from now on, but it's, you know, they're used to people butchering it. Gyro, gyro, all of that, but it's Euro actually. So you learn something new every day. And I got the number 3, which is the Philly cheese. I'm always a sucker for Philly cheese, and it's actually mixed with chicken and Euro meat. But they have burgers, they have the Cafelta sandwich, they have all of that. So, and then I got the smoothie instead of the drink here. Alright, so the game is probably started now. I'll be driving during the game, so I'll probably catch a second half at home, depending on how long it's going to tell me now when I get in the car it's going to take to get home. So I got the Philly mixed with Euro and chicken, 12-inch, and the fries, and I paid on the, like, they have, you can pay at the register or pay on like one of those like computerized systems. I picked a smoothie, so just try the smoothie, and the guy was saying, yeah, you know, there was a mix-up. The guy wasn't sure if I paid for the smoothie, even though I picked it on screen, and he charged me like an extra $3 to get the smoothie as opposed to the soda. I paid it even though I thought I paid for it or whatever, but extra due diligence, the guy did check again to make sure that I didn't, you know, I said to him, I thought I picked smoothie on the screen, but you know, it's $3, it is what it is, whatever. He checked and he was like, yeah, you know what, you did pay for it, refunded me, and then actually gave me for the trouble, I think, not entirely sure what this is. I'm gonna make Lisa kind of identify it when we get home, but like a extra like dessert for the troubles. Definitely good customer service for the follow-up. He did ask me to do a review on Google, but I mean, that's the least. It's obvious that he's doing it for his business, you know. I know people that wouldn't have bothered to check, or been in establishments where they wouldn't even bother to check if they had gotten that right. So points already there. Still haven't tried any of the food yet. I'm going to try the fries. They had onion rings, they had other sides, rice, all kinds of stuff, but I got the fries because that's always a good indication of a starting point. Food smells good, but we're gonna see what it's like, and I'll give you, I'm still gonna give an honest review, but they're winning on the customer service so far. First things first, would have been better if I'd gotten into the bathroom and just wash my hands that way, but I have to work with what I have. I'm gonna try the fries now. Like I said, Lisa gonna tell me what this is, but this is the free thing that he threw in for the trouble, which was a nice little touch. I know I've seen it before, I just don't recall what it is. Let's take a look at the fillet. It smells awesome. Yo, and it's a big portion. I mean, it's not super cheap, but that's not small. It smells amazing. Bread looks good. I look a bit of the chicken. Again, not sure if you guys are really seeing that, but yeah, that smells legit. And it so far, the little nibbles I took, are legit. Let's try the fries. Plain fries. Okay, they're decent. Are they the best fries I've ever had? No. And they're definitely not gonna beat like a Seasons fries or something, but I'm confident that that will feed the fry monster I have at home in Kellan. Let's see what this is like. It's not mind-blowing again, but there's only so much you're gonna expect, especially because smoothie, it's not a smoothie place, but it's pretty good. I would buy it again. I got pina colada. They have mango pina colada, I think raspberry, and one other flavor that I'm forgetting right now. It's pretty good though. It's not overly sweet, which is definitely something that happens a lot with pina colada stuff. So it's worth getting again. We want to be closer up this side. It's not like we want to be in Orlando city limits, but obviously Lisa's a super Disney World head, and I am into keeping my wife happy, and I enjoy Disney enough, you know, that I wouldn't mind being more into the Kissimmee area. But there's a nicer part of that. There's the Hunters Creek area, there's Williamsburg, there's Dr. Phillips, there's Windermere. I did that on purpose because I feel Windermere gives off a little bit of an air of a little bit of snooty. It tends to be the upper, like, you know, into the multi-million-dollar homes. Not saying that everyone in Windermere is like that, but in that general vicinity is where we get most of the things that we're used to. You know, that's the only Trader Joe's that I've found so far, as well as the Whole Foods, which is important to Lisa. Is still within vicinity of Millennium Mall, which is where the Costco is close by. There's another BJ's up that way. There's, you know, the shopping that's going to be important to us, and then you can come this way, come south of that. So that's the general area that we want to be in, but the general area that we want to be in, the prices are insane. So, you know, wish us luck. We learn each day more and more. Kissimmee is massive, and what is considered Kissimmee is absolutely massive. Kissimmee is big enough to be its own county, in my opinion, what the map is. And I'm doing this as a outsider becoming an insider, so, you know, like an outsider becoming a local. So like, Kissimmee is huge, and I feel like if you're snooty, you can find snooty in Kissimmee. If you are, you know, low income, you can find that. If you want the undesirable, you can definitely find that. If you want the desirable, you know, it has a full range of everything.
I think it's one of a kind. There's something special about your love.